Hi, my name is Ashley Carlin, and today I'm reflecting on the self-assessments that support my personal transformation journey. So here are the 5 assessments that I took, and I think overall they helped me better understand my current self and who I aspire to be as a transformational leader. And they more holistically make the connection between who I am now and who I want to be, so I'll go ahead and get into it. The first assessment I took was 27 things I want to do before I die, and essentially I approached this by just picking the first 27 things that came to my mind since I don't really have a bucket list. Then I categorized them into themes. The first themes was memories, just doing things I want to do, haven't done yet, and or always aspire to do or have aspired to do. The second theme was to rid myself of stressors, and I realize that as a person, sometimes I get paralyzed by stressors, and I'd love for them to go away. And of course, some of those stressors, like finishing the EDD program, will end up being a very happy memory. Then the final theme is just feelings of accomplishment, both in my career and myself as a person. So in what I considered 27 things was more of a creative activity for me because I don't have a bucket list, whereas the values assessment was one that I really felt grounded me as a person and as a leader, mostly because my personal values overlap pretty significantly with my leadership values, which are logical, effectiveness, failures, challenge, fun, and teamwork. And I really try to focus on these day in and day out, remind myself and remind my team of why we do what we do to ensure that we approach everything with intention, which I'll get to shortly. Then the dispositions assessment, the 3 dispositions that I feel that are strengths for me are professional demeanor and responsibility, communication, and collaboration. And such attributes like self-awareness, accountability, resilience, oral and written communication, and just embracing diversity and embracing group context, I feel are strengths that I can contribute to my cohort and my fellow classmates. The 2 that I wish to improve are commitment to learning for all students, and not that I don't want all students to learn, but I often feel like an outsider because I don't come from the education realm. I come from the healthcare industry, and so I am a little bit uncertain of what I can contribute, but just focusing on my strengths I think will help at least promote an environment for learning. And then self-reflection. I don't do much journaling, but I do really intend to make self-reflection a habit because I do find it very useful. Then, as I mentioned before, in terms of approaching things with intention, the noble purpose assessment was very, very useful for me. I came up with the noble purpose to approach all things with humility and intention towards a life abundant of memories and absent of regrets. And this really resonated in the 27 things assessment, in the values assessment, and I think even in the the dispositions assessment, and helps define me as a person and what I'm called to do. And then finally, my legacy. So in doing what I feel that I'm called to do, I hope to leave a stamp that people will use as a model for years to follow. And I hope to leave a legacy that reminds people to feel valued and that whatever they brought to the table was exactly what was needed. And so in summarizing all of that of who I am now and who I want to be, I do feel like I am, and I want to continue to be the person who just values differences and values strengths. And so as I'll continue to remind myself and remind my teams and my colleagues that we don't all have to be the quarterbacks of the same football team, but that if we all remember what our strengths are, then we can surround ourselves with people who are strong when we're weak and really just achieve the best outcomes. And I think that runs true in all facets of my life, both personal and professional. So thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you again later.